Hi there, Catherine Bachman, astrologer, and welcome to my YouTube channel and my new website. I'm so excited to finally be launching. It's taken a while, and mostly my challenges and getting everything pulled together. This video is going to cover the month of August, and I'm going to give a little intro to how this month compares with the whole year and what's really going on. What is humanity's challenge? What is our mandate? And how do we work with these energies in the most positive ways for ourselves, our families, our communities, and globally? So first, I want to recap a little bit about the new moon in Leo, which was on August 5th. Mercury also went retrograde August 5th, and he is retrograding until August 28th. Retrogrades, the majority of the major planets and asteroids are in a retrograde motion at this time, which makes for a great deal more intensity, but it's also saying it's time to go inside and rethink, reconsider, redo, including Mercury retrograde. We find mistakes we've made in our checkbooks, or we have frustrations and challenges in communication, computers, and traffic frustrations and things like that. But each of the planets that are retrograde are an indication that it's time for us to individually and collectively go inside and rethink, redo what's important to us and who are we now, more so since the Leo new moon. Leo is about the individual soul and the light of who we are. And are we hiding our light, or are we looking at and inspired over, the early part of August, the 4th, 5th, and 6th time frame? Have we been inspired to step into more leadership, to more courage, to, some new project or life experience of all kinds, and as we move forward? We have also, toward the middle of the month, August 19th, we have an Aquarius full moon. New moons are new beginnings. Full moons are the culmination of some of the things that we put in process at a new moon. And so the Aquarian full moon is like really throwing all of us, or reminding us, it's like, who are we now? Who are we? The Leo new moon is like, who are we now? Individually and collectively. What are our values? And do we have the courage to step into the new? The Aquarius energy it can also be such sudden, fast-paced change, that the energies around that particular full moon are very frustrating, I would say, a bit. Frustrating as we're making adjustments. So those are kind of the general energies, and I want to get into talking a bit more about how do we work with these energies, and not speak so much of the astrology. I want this to be easy to understand, and more personally, how can you work with these energies that to your best ability? And what is the cosmos? What are the stars? What are the what is it that we're supposed to be doing, looking at, focusing on? So as I go back and look at the new moon in Leo, it's really about the individual, and what are my contributions, and am I fully stepping into the light of who I am, or have I been hiding it, or have I been living my life based on expectations of others? And if those are the case, then it's time to step into your powers, time to step into and let your light shine. This can be new beginnings around new ideas and inspirations that could be triggered during this first week of August. But from a bigger context, I really should speak to this first. The bigger context is that we are 2024 is such an intense year as we are simultaneously going through the breakdown of a 25,000 year Piscean age. And business as usual, the small group of people having all the assets and power, money, sexuality, greed, abuses of power. Those are things that are being exposed with Pluto right now, and challenged, and shockingly so, in order to wake us up as humanity. Because as we also are simultaneously birthing the Aquarian age. The Aquarian age is a 25,000 year age of peace and balance, and it is a people's movement into inclusion of all. It's science proving religion. It is so many things, fast-paced change, where part of our job as humanity is to wake up, and every light that goes on, every soul that wakes up, will move us closer to this collective shift in consciousness, where war and abuse of the planet, the environment, of people, repression of women, repression of families by a few, war. These are all things that will no longer be tolerated. As quantum physics, as science begins to prove, a lot of the religious concepts, it's really important to understand that each and every one of us is a divine spark of the Creator, God, Goddess, however you want to define that. So this is a period of time where there's this huge push to take us back hundreds of years, so that a small group of people can maintain all the money, the power, and control. And that's why there's such intensity this year, and particularly from here through the end of the year. I want to make sure I leave you guys with some hope in that once we're past the U.S. election, Pluto moves into Aquarius on November 19th. Pluto is the planet of death, rebirth, major transformation. And his energy, he rules, the sign of Scorpio. His energy is very, very powerful and transformational. So one of the totems for the Scorpio energy is the phoenix rising from the ashes. So it's a powerful time. And as Pluto goes into Aquarius on November 19, for the next 20 years, we're going to be, the first 7 will be the most intense part of moving into the upliftment of everyone, the inclusion of minorities and women and youth. This election and what's going on globally is, the people are waking up. It is promised. And so our job individually at this time is to begin to go inside, to not be caught up in the energies that are out there that want us to stay afraid, that want us to stay small, that do not want us to come together, that want to divide everyone based on differences. But, if we're all children of the same Creator, then why would we want to see the other as evil or bad, or to be destroyed, or to be, so there are a lot of values and structures. So Pluto is right now, September, around the 1st of September, Uranus goes retrograde. The planet of Chakanal will join all the other retrograde planets, and Pluto backs into the sign of Capricorn for just a couple of months but unfortunately, or fortunately, through the election. Astrology, there's no good energies or bad energies. It's a language of cycles, and this is a cycle where it not just affects us individually, it also affects us collectively. And so, as we're going through this period of time, we have other energies out there that are making things very confusing. The media, all of the traditional structures that we used to count on to inform us and to help us understand what was going on, that we trusted, were based in truth and education and honesty and integrity. They've all been corrupted, with a few exceptions. So the most important thing to understand about this period of time is to begin in the month of August of really looking inside. And who am I now? Who am I now? I'm not the same person I was 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago. In fact, healing for individuals and humanity and collectively is why things are so intense, in order to break us out of the old thought patterns, the old, the tapes that run through our brain every time we get into a stressful situation, to become more conscious of those so that we can stop that and begin to move into creating the new mind, the collective mind. And so those energies affect both individuals and, our families and communities. And 2 weeks ago, I participated in a retreat in Denver, and I'll give Dr. Joe Dispenza a plug here. It was the most powerful, magical, advanced training around healing the mind and integrating a new mind with a new body, a new heart. And so, meditation is, and I was one of those people that said, I can never meditate, right? But I've been doing it powerfully for the last year and a half. And, anyway, so how do we do this transition? How do we do this shift? And by going inside, catching yourself with the old tapes that are making you feel bad, the old, judgments from childhood, from our parents, from, school, from early relationships and marriages and things like that. It's like all of that old junk needs to be released, forgiven and released within ourselves, and forgiveness for others. And then we can move into, what is it I want to create? We can move into a creative mind. We can move into, then from that place, expanding the heart and blending the heart and the mind, to be our daily walk and live in the present moment. And from that place, it's like compassion and forgiveness and expansion of love and inclusion of everyone, including, our crazy estranged aunts and uncles or siblings or parents or whatever. It's like, it's time for families to heal. And as the Hopi Indian proverb of, we're going to need to heal 7 generations back and 7 generations forward, couldn't be more true than it is today. So each of us individually are responsible for healing ourselves. And, the astrology just ends up being kind of the roadmap, or lets you know what the energies are like, how we choose to work with those energies, or those intuitions, or those hits, or those sudden synchronicities, is up to us. So we are really in a very, very powerful time where the individual combined with the collective will move us into the Aquarian age, the 25,000 year age of peace and balance and, you know, and healing of the environment and healing on every level. So let's go into the, I mentioned, you know, we had this new moon in Leo to have us, throw us a little bit introspective, pull back, to look at who we are now. And are we living our lives based on who we really are some of those old tapes still getting in the way and causing us to be in fear? Fear is the worst thing that we can do. One of the ways in which we can also work with these energies is to get in touch with nature, to do hikes, to just even go sit on the lawn. Doesn't matter where you are. Find a tree, find some grass, go to the beach, take your shoes off, get your feet into the ocean, you know, every day. If you can find time to connect with nature, that's going to also help calm it and ground you. So that no matter what's going on in the world around us, the only person that we can heal is ourselves. And right now, that's the most important healing that is on the planet for us to do, right? So, so the Leo energy right now, since the 6th, the 5th or 6th, through about the 14th, we're in a little bit of honeymoon phase as we're starting to see some positive changes happening, particularly in this country. You know, so there's more optimism that positive changes are coming. And but as we move toward the middle of the month, never fear, the old guard, the oligarchs, the corporations, the extreme rich are not wanting us to move into this new energy. They are wanting to hang on to power no matter what. So this is where, you know, being very careful, you know, by not just being careful, it's more you know that this stuff is going to be coming, that there's going to be a lot of chaos created. There may be little small areas of violence. There's certainly enough violence in the world that we can see these organizations, these groups, these individuals that are pushing back to bring control over the masses and permanently entrench that. So it's not going to work, but, you know, how do you stay sane? So stay awake and aware, look inside. You are going to know intuitively what is the truth. And if there's confusion, do some research. Check out a number of different organizations, news media that are honest and in integrity. You'll know them, you'll feel it when you hear their information. So we're going to be looking at attacks, you know, coming up around the Democratic convention. There can also be roller coaster types of highs and lows with the stock market. A lot of this stuff is being manipulated. So pull back and take care of yourself. And when you are inspired to do something, or you get a creative idea about something you want to do, start to research it and start to build on that. Develop your relationships, you know, with your family. And again, heart-centered, ho'oponopono. Forgive them, forgive yourself, bless them, thank them for being your teacher, and reach out. You know, it's like families have been just torn apart over the last decades. So it's time to reconnect and to heal a lot of those relationships. And not from a place of judgment. It's like we've all been hurt. There's no person on the planet that has not experienced trauma just watching the nightly news, right? So we're in, you know, a very intense and violent time, but we don't have to be part of it. We can hold the vision of a world at peace. We can hold the vision of caring for each other, making sure everyone is fed, making sure everyone is educated, that, you know, we get healthcare that is real and not killing us, toxic, you know, and I have my own perspectives, and I've been in a healing process for about 12 years with cancer. So I kind of have my focus, or my perspectives, not for everyone, but working with the astrology, this is a time of natural medicines, energy medicine, earth-centered herbs and that sort of thing are going to become, as well as spiritual meditations, those kinds of things are going to be an important part of our healing in the future. So, just hang in there. This period from August about 14 through, let me see here, through the 19th, particularly in the U.S. chart, through the Democratic Convention, look like they're going to be fairly intense, and potentially there can be some violence. Hold light around that convention, send lots of love, and see people being safe. And then at the end of the month, there can be another period of adjustment. I'm looking at the U.S. chart here. There can be, again, some stock market adjustments. The 1st of September will also bring in Uranus, the planet of shock and change and revolutionary change. The ruler of Aquarius will be retrograding. And so that can bring intense shocks, earthquakes, volcanoes, environmental kinds of shocks, revolutionary kinds of shocks to the systems, to us individually. So be in your body, pay attention to where you are, because that can bring in accidental conditions. And on the same day, Pluto, the planet of death, rebirth, back into the last degree of Capricorn. That is one of the most intense degrees of the old guard. He's still retrograde, so he's exposing secrets. There's still going to continue to be breakdown and exposure of these kinds of abuses of power, money, and sexuality coming to the news. Okay, so on the Aquarius full moon, I want to move into that, that's going to be a bit of a challenging period. There are gifts coming to us during that period of time, but there's also a lot of adjustment, and it's like squares and inconjuncts, all of these energies that are very challenging. So it can feel like we're a little bit of the pinball machine, that we're the pinballs being bounced around inside that pinball machine, with go here or go there. It's just to know that it's really important to keep your feet on the ground, knees bent, arms extended, like you're going to be surfing the waves of change, because we are. And remember to breathe, and remember to, if you have to go into the restroom or a closet, to give yourself a few minutes of deep breathing in your busy day. Take the time to do that, so that you can calm your nervous system no matter what's going on the planet. There's going to be a great deal of intensity through this period of time. The Aquarius full moon, though, on August 19th, is the full moon is culminating. Who are we as a collective? What are our values? What are the values as we move into this particular energy? So, and know that, there may not be any clarity. There may only be crisis for change. So again, as much as you can, ground yourself, take time alone, or be with family and friends. And that can also trigger a lot of changes within families, within relationships, within communities, and within nations. There is a lot going on the planet. Just know that this is happening in order to wake each of us up. Okay. The old structures basically are breaking down, and the old structures that are Capricornian, very Saturn ruled. Saturn is our karmic work, and really is looking at not just structures related to the earth, but also, governments, corporations, every system that's out there is up for review. If it is not working for the masses, if it is not working for the people, those structures are failing and they are up for review, collapse, renovation. We do have free will. But this is a time of the awakening of the people, a people's movement that will carry us into this new age. And the age of enlightenment, the Aquarian age, which there's a video down below that you can click on for more of an in-depth analysis of that, is really the time of very fast-paced change. And as anyone that's been on the planet for the last 20, 30 years has experienced, is that we're moving into faster and faster paced change. And that can leave us feeling a little insecure and confused, and it can put us into fear. So an important part of my message is, first of all, to speak more English than I'm doing astrology, so that you don't have to wade through all of the terminology that is the language of astrology, but to be able to very quickly understand how to work with these energies in the most positive way for you. So we're in August, and we started the month with this beautiful Leo new moon, which is about new beginnings. And Leo is ruled by the sun. It's the light of who we are. Leo is the lion or lioness, is courageous. And it was awakening us to really go inside, because we have almost all the planets are retrograde not right now, and the retrograde energies are about going inside, rethinking, redoing, reconsidering, including Mercury is retrograde at this time. So these energies are about going inside, especially the more crazy the world seems, the more intense and violent that the world seems. It's really important for each and every one of us to go inside. Meditation, and I was one of those people that said for years I could never meditate, and I just completed a 7-day Joe Dispenza retreat, advanced retreat, where that's all we did every day for 7 days, including walking meditations. An amazing training and opportunity. So I'll give Joe a little plug here. But it's like being able to listen and to be guided in a meditation is meditation. And it's just a matter of helping us move out of the fear, move out of the mind, which is accumulation of 7 generations back to this point in time, and actually affects 7 generations forward. This is a Hopi Indian prophecy. So being able to really look at pulling back from what's going on in the outside world, because it's really what is truth, what is manipulation, what is AI, so the more that we can pull back and let go of the, just kind of observe the thought patterns that we're going through and see what, kind of is that repetitive mental state that keeps our heart shut down and full of fear. So Leo rules the heart, and it's a very powerful time of looking at how much are we creating because of the changes that are going on around us. How much are we recreating these old patterns in our lives? And if ever there's a time to become conscious of those patterns and to begin releasing them, it's now. It is absolutely now. So, the first 4 or 5 days of the month were a little bit stressful with that new moon, kind of rattled our cages. But since then, around the 5th, 6th, the end of the day on the 5th and the 6th, all the way down through the 15th of August, we're in a period of 14th, 15th of August. We're in a period of, some things are starting to work out. There's some sanity coming in. And I'm imagining that might have something to do with, and particularly in the U.S., what's going on in our political system and the changes that have happened there over the last few weeks. But as we come to mid-month, excuse me, as we come to mid-month, we're going to be moving into some pretty intense energies. And the second, we're going to have our Aquarius full moon on August 19th on the Pacific. I'm speaking from Pacific time on the west coast of the United States. And so we're going to be experiencing a fairly intense and conflictual energy. But the more that we can pull back and experience this Aquarian energy, the Aquarian energy is truly emotionally about being able to, how is that I want to say this? Who are we now? Who are we now? Who am I now? Because I'm not the same person I was 2 days ago. I'm not the same person I was 2 weeks ago. I came back from the Denver Joe Dispenza retreat and immediately was hit very hard with COVID. So it's taken me a week and a half to get over that. And my normal thing is to chafe at, gosh, this is not what I had in mind. This is interrupting. And all those negative thoughts came pouring in, right? So, and then I realized, oh, wait, I'm in a new body. I have a new mind. I don't need to run those tapes anymore. If this happened, there's a really good reason. And maybe I should just relax into my healing and know that this is a process that is important to my healing transformation, the bigger picture of that healing transformation. So I did that. I immediately started feeling better. All those fears of, I just lost all of that I learned in the retreat, all the advances of all of the healing energies I was surrounded by. And so I looked at that and I'm going, that's not true. That's not true for me. I am in a healed body and I'm in a process of healing and I am creating this at this time. And so very, very powerful to catch yourself in the moment and shift those energies. And I'm, even as the astrologer, I'm in the same soup that everyone else is in. So I'm only as healed as I've done the work and managed to do that process. So I really want to encourage you to, if you find yourself going into fear or catch yourself with those negative thoughts, and start to pay attention. Is this familiar? Because like I said, who you are today is not who you were 2 days ago. And we are going to make the shift into a 25,000 year age of balance and peace and love and operating from our hearts, because that's what this energy is about. All right, let's get back to the Aquarius new moon in the center, middle part of this month. There are so many different adjustments. It's like we're going to feel like we are the pinball in a pinball machine as things are bouncing around all over the place. So again, this is going to be a period around this Aquarius new moon, because it's not just the microcosm of our life that we're being affected by. It's the collective energies, and the collective in our world is in a very difficult period. And there's lots of violence out there. There's lots of lies and manipulations, and it's all designed, literally, the media, it's all designed to put us and keep us into fear, which will keep us disempowered. So really, really important to be able to stop, to take the breaths, to correct the thinking, to move back into your heart, and as many times during the day as you need to expand the heart energy. And if your heart has been kind of shut down in order to protect it, which doesn't really work, this is a time to get in touch with that. And part of getting in touch with the heart is to begin remembering, and I do inner child work. So it's a matter of getting in touch with that inner little boy or girl and remember all the times from that period, from as far back as you can remember to the current, of those things and those times and those people that have brought you so much joy, so much peace, so much happiness. And another way in which to work with this energy is to get out in nature every day if you can. And it's not just, I've been accused of being a tree hugger, and it's like, that's okay. It's good. I can feel their energy. But being in nature and noticing the light shining through the leaves as they're shimmering, especially the aspens as they quake. It doesn't matter whether it's the brand new baby aspen leaves or the fall golden colors. Notice the birds, notice all the critters. Get your feet in the grass, take your shoes and socks off, get, on the beach, walk, bury your feet in the sand, walk in the surf. Any way that you can get in touch with nature is going to be very, very helpful, and help to stabilize you. What we are working toward is what we used to call what was called the 100th monkey syndrome, and it's a matter of when enough of the collective is living from heart, is living from this place of love, compassion, forgiveness. It's not a matter of putting yourself in a place of danger. That's never a good idea. But we can still have compassion and forgiveness for those who have hurt us or who have wronged us. The more we hold the pain of that within us and repeat those stories, the more we stay stuck in that energy. The less time we have to move into our hearts and experience joy. My grandmother was a Central Texas farmer's wife. She had an 8th grade education, but she was a light being. She just emanated light. And I remember sitting on her kitchen counter one wintry morning when she was whipping up her Texas-sized biscuits and sharing some hurt or something with her. And basically she says, "Honey, Jesus never promised us a rose garden. I decided long ago that I was just going to be happy." This farmer's wife who worked so hard her whole life, had 6 children, worked the fields, and then rustled up the food to feed the family and the workers that were helping in the fields. So that stuck with me. And then, the other old-fashioned saying was, "Sweetie, don't cry over spilt milk." Just it's like life is going to give us disappointments, and there are thorns on those roses occasionally. So just notice and then move on. And she was so right. She was so right in what she was sharing with me at that time. So I've done my best to emulate that, but it's taken me a long time to fully embrace those concepts for myself. And so what's really, really important is to look at and to release. There's so many forgiveness prayers out there in the world. I also embrace the Ho'oponopono, which is a Hawaiian shaman forgiveness prayer. Beautiful, and it's simple, and it works. So find what works for you, research what works for you in order to begin to make that transition from the old mind, integrating that new mind into the heart so that the heart and mind are operating on the same frequency of love, compassion, forgiveness, and be there for yourself first. It's kind of like being in the airplane, and if you've got turbulent weather, you pull down the oxygen for yourself first. We first have to heal ourselves. The only person we can heal is ourselves. But as we move through these energies through the end of the year, what we're going to find is that there will be a shift in the collective consciousness into more love, more compassion, more forgiveness, the upliftment of all, moving into a 25,000 year progressive age of peace. So, be part of that. Join all of us, because the more of us that shift, that we turn our own little light on, and that we declare that we are independent, that we are going to be courageous, and we are going to courageously love, that we are going to courageously have compassion and forgiveness. How can we hate our brother or sister or clan from the other side of the planet? We are all, each and every one of us, individual sparks of the divine creator, no matter what your spiritual practice or religion. So from that perspective, we survive. The earth will survive. The earth will always survive. It just may or may not survive with humanity living on it. But we have such a beautiful period of time coming. Okay, so I wanted to get back to this period of the middle of the month and looking at the Aquarius full moon. There's so much shocking energy of change coming in. And there can be shocks to the financial system. There can be shocks to our values, who we are. The old guard, those that are in power, the rich, the corporations, those that want all the power, because we're not very far from, they're not needing to be workers between robotics and AI. These guys, it's like there's just never enough, even though they have it all, and the majority of the people on the planet are suffering. So there's going to be a lot of misinformation. It's going to be hard to know what the truth is. Pull back into yourself. The Aquarius full moon is become your own advocate, become your own champion emotionally. Wake up and use your intellect to do the research to find out what the truth is. And if intuitively you are not feeling what the truth is, do the research. But for most of us, we can intuitively feel whether what we're hearing or seeing is truth or not. We are all opening to our intuitive selves. We are opening to the interconnection of every one of us. And so hang on. We're in line for the e-ticket ride of many lifetimes in the next few months. And as we move into 25, I don't want to leave you hanging that there's nothing but challenge coming up. There are amazing new opportunities if we wake up and we grab the brass ring, if we wake up and we embrace the changes and pay attention and do service, help where we can. Be there for others. Be there for a family. Open the doors again for those that have been estranged. Judge no one. Please, judge no one. Because as soon as you judge, that is what you're going to be attracting to you and potentially guilty of, So it's like, see everyone and everything with gentle eyes of light and love. And know that we are all in process. We are all here to learn and to grow and to change. And we all chose to come to the planet at this time for this amazing transformation of humanity, of the earth, from 50,000 years of abuses of power and money and sexuality and all that into the new age, to become, worthy citizens of the cosmos, to be able to meet our galactic brothers and sisters. So this is going to be a very, very powerful time. I would also mention that next year, 2025, through about 2010, 2025 through for about the first 7 years, so 25 on, we're going to be, will be an important part of the breakdown, not just the breakdown process, but the rebuilding of the new age, of people finding the courage to step into leadership and move into leadership in their small communities. We will never give our power over again after this period. So it takes the village. It takes the village for all things. And we become our own best authority from a place of love. Okay, so that's my little overview of August. I'm really ready to begin launching a variety of YouTube videos. Please like, subscribe, share this if it resonated with you. I would greatly appreciate that. And visit my website. I am, as an astrologer, open to doing sessions. I will record them on YouTube or on video, but I will send them to you privately. And you can reach me from my website as well. So I will do my best to keep up with things, and please have a little patience. I am not the technology person, so I do have people helping me, and this is high learning for me to be speaking into a camera and doing all of this. So I really appreciate you. I am so greatly appreciative, and being able to be of service again. So hopefully, if this resonates with you, again, like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Thank you.